Hello and welcome back to the Demis Hellen channel. In this video we're going to take a look at recreating the Anjuna pad that is part of my Serum Trance Essentials Volume 2 pack that is exclusive to my loops. So if you want to check that out and listen to the rest of the audio demo, you can do in the link in the description. And as always, if you have any questions about what you've seen in today's video, please let me know down in the comments. And with that said, let's get started. Okay, so here we are with an initialized preset. Let's have a listen to the sound from the other instance of Serum first. You can hear it's a nice smooth pad, and we're going to recreate that in here. So we've got the same MIDI. And if you want the MIDI, it's also included in that pack, so you can head over to my loops down in the description as well. So to get started, 7 voices on Oscillator 1 and the same for Oscillator 2 using the default waveform as well. I'm going to bring the detune just down a smidge. I'm going to bring the level down. And we have the basis of our sound, nice and smooth, and it's clean. Now to get that sort of smoother texture, we're going to add a filter, send A and B to that filter, and we're going to choose from the MISC, the French LP. And you can hear that is a lovely smooth texture. I'm going to increase the drive a little bit. Increase the above as well. So we have a nice soft pad with some cutoff there. So let's bring it down to a level where it sounds like it'd finish. And we're going to use Mod 1, so the Modwheel, should we say, and bring that over so it'll populate that to open up the filter. So a lot of people ask, why do I attach a macro or a Modwheel to a singular parameter, for example? And that's because I don't want to forget or lose the exact place that I've decided the filter sounds best. If you're automating and you're using the cutoff there and you make a mistake on your automation and you've saved it and exited the project and you come back and you realize it's not quite right, you've got to go in and readjust it and make sure it's back where it is. So it just avoids all that sort of workflow issues. And on the plus side as well, you can attach more than one parameter to a macro or a Modwheel control, so you can control multiple parameters with just drawing one automation line. Okay, so now we've got that where we like it. I'm just going to change this up. I'm going to bring the decay down, leave the sustain up, and have some release, maybe just a little longer than a second. A bit less. So maybe about a second. And the reason the decay is down, because we're not using any sort of decay rate, it's just going to be a solid sustained note. So we don't need decay, just the sustain to say keep that level at maximum. So there we are. That is literally the sound design setup. So if we go into the effects, let's add some reverb and EQ. So I'm going to put EQ after the reverb, and that is based on I want to boost the frequencies that the reverberation is happening on. So I'm going to make it a bit bigger. Add some lows, bring up the mix. I'm going to bring the filter open as well. And we're going to bring up the gain on the EQ. Just to give it a bit of power, make it sound a little bit sweeter. So I am going to increase the resonance a little bit here, but I'm going to decrease the buff a little bit. It's just a filter characteristic. So if you use to do that, you can see it's exaggerating those resonant peaks. Just going to bring them down. Beautiful. And from there, we can add a little bit of delay if we wanted to. Let's just put a little bit in so you can see what I do here. I'd probably leave that at quarter notes, ping pong, roll out some of the lows so we're not getting those sort of like delays in the lower portions. And it's really just to add a little bit of texture in the background when you're filtering in and out. It just gives it a little bit more of a seamless sort of result. So if we listen to this with this on, you'll hear a little bit of delay when we're moving the filter around quickly. Just a little bit of ping-ponging back and forth there, so it just adds a little bit of depth and character to the sound. So with that done, we can now focus on making a couple of macros just to finish off the tutorial. So I'm going to show you how to make a trance gate using this. So let's have a look at LFO1. We can make a trance gate, just literally hold shift and you'll create straight lines like this. So we can make something like so. That like that. So a very simple trance gate, and I've got it at 1/4 for now. Let's just leave it at that and I'll show you the speeds. And we use the macro to first control the levels. So these two are going to control the levels and bring the level down to 0, because we don't want the sound to come through as it does right now as we hear it. We want this trance gate to appear and the other sound to disappear. So essentially got like 2 presets. So now we can attach the trance gate to level 1 and level 1 on the oscillator 2. You can see if you jump into the matrix there, LFO1 is controlling A and B volumes. And you can see it's not really done anything on terms of the amount, because you can see the current level of this, it's only gone to sort of like the 100% mark there. So we're going to extend this using these to about 80%, which is roughly the level of the pad before we've turned them down, obviously, on the levels. But if we leave this as it is, we're still going to hear the gatedness of this sound, because you can see the volume is up and the gate is open here on the level as well. So to stop this happening, jump into our matrix, and you can see these 2 levels here. We can just drag macro 1 onto here, or simply choose it from this list, but drag macro 1 onto there. So now it's controlling that level. So this level here can't happen until we increase the macro. So we're doing 2 things at once. Macro 1 is controlling the volume level, turning that down, whilst macro 1 is also controlling the gate level and turning that up. So they can't be both on at the same time. It's only one or the other. You can hear now we have a lovely trance gate. So let's bring the filter open. Create exactly what we had before. 1 down, 1 up, 1 down, 1 up. The last 2 are up like that. So again, we can attach this to the 2 levels. To keep it nice and concise, we can have this roughly at 80 again. But then this time we want the macro 2 to control this option. So what we can do is we can drag and drop this to level, down to 0, down to 0. And then in the matrix, we can add this to the LFO2 volume control and LFO2 volume control for B. So we've done exactly the same as the other one. We've just done it the other way around here, but it's still doing the same thing. And now we have a secondary gate controlling this. So you can see there, that is the use for macros. Hopefully that answers some people's questions as to why you'd use them. You can have 2 trance gates, and you can also have a blend of 2 trance gates if you wanted to, or a blend between halfway being a pad and halfway being a trance gate, instead of having 2 separate presets. And you'll find out from my packs that I don't just release the sounds, we have controls on the macros and the mod wheel as well in all of my packs that have those features. And so essentially you're really getting 64 presets plus more, because you can change the sound and change it into a different sound in those predetermined parameter controls on the macros. So for example, changing a pad into a gated pad, you've actually got 2 sounds there. You've got a gated and a pad. So that is the Anjuna. So that is the Anjuna pad we've just created there. You can save that into your collection. But if you want all the rest of the presets that come in Trance Essentials Volume 2, you can head to the link down below to go to My Loops. It's an exclusive there, but there's also a discount code linked down below as well. So don't miss out on that if you want to get a little bit of money off as well. And with that said, if you have any questions about what you've seen in today's video, let me know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.